Good morning. Just wanted to make a public service announcement for all you who have been out in the sun over the years. This is the end result. I had to have a biopsy done this week, so it's not been quite a week yet, and we'll see if it's anything to worry about. But anyway, getting to the quilting, I wanted to show you these. I found these. So what they are little thimbles, but I wear out my little leather thimbles and the metal will fall out of it. So what I do is I put these plastic little thimblets over it, and then it helps protect it and my finger. So going through my little things, this is my needle puller, my thread, my markers to mark with, my pencil sharpener, and a little tiny ruler, and sometimes my glove, which helps my hands when they're hurting. So we're going to get right into it. I am working on Olaf. So I have them halfway done. So I just kind of stitch around the outline of him. This is the first one I've gotten to because I was stitching in a ditch, and then I thought, well, I'm going to do one of these little Olafs, I should say. So here we are. But also I have to say, I did have a bad burn when I was a teenager at 16, and I have had basal cell on my face one other time, and I had to have it removed through surgery. And what it was a little red spot where it was bleeding and scaling. The skin kept peeling off. And so I had a dermatology appointment this week because it just started a few weeks ago, actually. And so he took it off to check it. So I should know maybe this Friday if it's something I should worry about and have to have another surgery done, where he says if it's nothing to worry about, then it'll just heal up and we'll keep checking for other spots. But yes, I have had a spot removed when I was 35. So just saying, protect yourself when you go out in the sun and don't get burnt. It's the worst. Anyway, on a positive note, I'm almost done with this little guy. I call it kind of uphill, so it's a little bit rough trying to quilt here. I like to actually work towards me, go from the top down. When I'm in when I'm doing either a hoop or a large quilting frame, it's just easier coming downhill, trying to do your little rocking motion. So it is. Or going across from right to left, because I'm right-handed, of course. I also have to put a stencil over on this little blue patch. So this is my stencil. I forgot to show you that. I put one over on the other side of my quilt, on the other end. So I'm using the same one on this side of my quilt. And so that way it'll match on either side. Not that anybody is going to notice that either, because people don't pay that much attention to stuff like that normally. Sometimes they do. But I like to have it, I mean, you could put different ones the whole way around your quilt if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be even, but when I'm working on a quilt, I usually do match them up on both sides just because that's what I do. But I have done them on a smaller quilt where I just do different ones the whole way around, so it's whatever you like. I'm trying to thread my needle here, and it doesn't want to go in. Huh. Being stubborn today. Let me see. There we go. Got it in. All right. So I finished one of the Olafs, as you can see. He looks quilted, puffy. All right, so what else I'm gonna do is I'm going to go up here. Don't think you can see it quite right. Like, where am I here? I need to push it back some. Well, I'm not getting it, but I'm going to do the border in the purple and the blue, and you'll see it once I move down the quilt a little bit. All right. Now I am going downhill right now, if that's what you want to call it. That's what I call it. You know, stitching in a ditch is always really more difficult because you have more layers of fabric. And you are supposed to iron them to one side, but yes, I do. But when you put the quilt in the frame and you're moving it around, the seams move also. So sometimes you have seams spread out, you know, on both sides. So it still makes it thicker to stitch through. And I can see that's why some people like to do machine quilting, because it's not hard on your hands. You just do everything with a machine. As it gets a little too close, so it's a little blurred because it's focusing on my hand. It just makes it hard to pull through, so I use my little green needle puller, because the more you pull on it with your hand, the harder it is on your thumb joint. And so then you get pain in your thumb joint after doing it for many years, like I have. So I've been doing this for almost 40 years, I would say. So when there's more fabric in the ditch, I don't take as many stitches either, because it's also hard on my hand, my tendons, ligaments. And when I was showing you my new utensils, I forgot to show you my needle. That's my #1 utensil. Right there. Of course, you knew I had to have a needle, or I couldn't be quilting. I have the window open today to get a little fresh air in here. So you can probably hear the traffic on the main road. I hear trucks going by. Sometimes they're pretty noisy. Oh goodness. I have a Band-Aid on this finger because I was poking it so much. And sometimes when I quilt with my Band-Aid on, I will catch it in my needle. And that is not a good thing. But I'm not poking my skin, at least. So you have a problem either way. It was just getting really sore. I don't normally wear a Band-Aid because it gets calloused, but if I'm not quilting every day, then the callus part gets healed, and then it's like starting over. So then it gets recalloused, and it's sore until it does. When I'm heading towards the bottom part of the border here, it gets a little tough quilting. So that's why I'm taking so long. Okay. So checking to see if I did all that. Sometimes when I stop in whatever area I'm working and I don't come back to it the next day, or soon, a couple days later, because it's been a couple weeks since I was working on this and made my last video, because it's been a while. A lot of things going on when spring starts. Anyway, I forget where all I quilted, so I have to kind of recheck the areas and make sure I, got everything. So, just saying, when you're not quilting on something every day, you forget where you left off, what all you quilted and what you didn't get quilted, so you got to recheck it. Make sure you're getting it all. I have went underneath and looked at the underneath also, but this one has a print back. I don't know if I can show you here. It's printed. You can see the colors. So it's harder to also see where I quilted because it's got so much print to it. So I have to just look for the little stitches on top and do it that way. Which I can see mostly because this is you can see your stitches no matter what color if you have a plain color, it's easier to see the stitching than if you have a print. But, you know, most quilts have prints, a lot of prints. Some quilts have all printed fabric, where I like to use a mixture because I like to draw patterns on my plain colors. That's why I do that. If you're going to machine quilt it, then, you know, you can machine quilt a pattern on a plain spot also. But most people use just printed fabrics on a machine quilt, quilted quilt also, because they do so much quilting on it. And they don't normally stitch in a ditch. They just quilt a big pattern all over it. I mean, now there's more patterns that you can put on a machine quilted quilt than there used to be. So you can do more things. But a hand quilted quilt, you normally stitch in a ditch to make things pop out more. And it helps secure the quilt, the 3 layers. The back, the batting, which is this middle layer, and your top. So that's the whole point of quilting. You give it a design, but you also are sewing those 3 layers together, and it holds your fabrics together. Now here I'm heading towards a corner, and so it's thicker in here, so I'm only doing a stitch at a time. When I was younger, I never did that. I would just quilt right through it, but when you're older, your hands are more, you know, tender. You've been doing it so long, you start to get issues. So it's harder to quilt through that many layers and do the rocking motion. Okay. Oh, goodness. And then it wants to slip also. Your needle wants to slip because there's too many layers. And so you have to keep going back over and trying again. If it slips, it's not going to catch all 3 layers. That's what I'm saying. So it's slipping from the bottom layer and not catching it. Sometimes you'll see me jerk on the thread a little bit harder, and that's because I have a little knot in it, and I don't know how it gets knotted. When you're going up and down through the fabric, somehow you get a little knot in it, and so if I jerk it, it'll pop the knot out like that. So sometimes you'll hear it snap, so you know you got your knot out. But that's why I do that. And if you pull on the thread, you know, there's no thread that's sticking up anywhere, because I've done that too. If I didn't pull on the thread a little bit taut, then sometimes there's a little loop that didn't get pulled in tight enough, and so then it's sticking up. And I don't like that. It's not what you're supposed to leave. You're supposed to keep them tight. almost finished on this border. And if you guys are working on something you want to tell me about, or if you have questions about anything, just let me know in the comments. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. I know sometimes I don't make regular videos in the summertime when I'm working outside doing other things. And I do try to work outside when it's not hot. So I'll do early morning or late evening. So anyhow, I'm going to end my video here. And you guys stay safe. Stay out of the sun. Keep quilting and have fun. All right, bye.